I am just about packed up and I'm ready to leave my apartment for the last time. Obviously, it doesn't look empty, and that is because, fortunately for me, I was able to simplify this process by giving this apartment over to my friend Bob, who's been my roommate for a while I was saving money for this trip. And so, yeah, there's still some furniture in here. That was the easy part. I didn't really have to do anything with that, and so. Um, this is my room, but he's kind of taking that over. But these are the shelves where all of my gear used to be, and I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning last night, packing and then unpacking and repacking and taking things out, and just it was such a long night. I'm gonna talk a little more about that when I get on the bike, but it's been such a roller coaster the last couple weeks, just building up to this, and talk a little bit about that too. I wanted to vlog yesterday. I wanted to document the eve of my departure because it's such a big part of the trip, right? Like, the trip really starts the night before you leave, like all the packing and all the hectic craziness. That's really, a big part of it, but unfortunately it was so hectic and crazy that I wasn't even able to get the camera out. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what yesterday was like once I get on the bike and hit the road. But yeah, it was a late night last night. I didn't get sleep till about 3, and I was up at 7. Just spent the last few hours just strapping everything down to the bikes. I got it pretty good, but I'm gonna have to readjust, I think, tonight. I think it's probably gonna take me about a week before I'm happy with the way everything is packed. Unfortunately, I didn't even have time to do a dry run, so when I get on my bike right now, will be the first time I've ridden it loaded the way that it's loaded, so hopefully everything feels good. It feels like everything's distributed pretty well. Anyways, I'm going to jump on the bike, close everything down, take one last walk through the apartment, make sure I'm not forgetting anything, and I will catch you guys when I'm on the road. Stick around. So I gotta say, this is a little surreal for me. This has been a dream of mine for a very, very long time, and something I've been actively pursuing for well over 5 years. Full-time travel on a motorcycle to just, completely untether and just go as streamlined as you can go. I mean, everything I have on this bike right now is everything I own that really means much to me. I have one box of pictures and sentimental things that I sent to my father just for safekeeping. It's been a very emotional couple weeks, like I said, and I'm still kind of collecting my thoughts and figuring out where I'm even at emotionally, and I think last night I just hit a point where I was just kind of drained from the emotional roller coaster. I'd go through these phases where I would just be, terrified, quite frankly, of what I was about to do. And I've done a lot of traveling on my motorcycle, but it's always had an end date, and I've always had a plan to come back. And this just feels a little bit bigger and a little unknown. And there's also a lot of there's a big lack of security on this trip for me because I was talking, we did a meetup, a Phoenix area meetup the other night with some of you guys, and it was great meeting you, those of you that stopped by, and I'm really looking forward to meeting more of you. We had talked a little bit about what I was anxious about and what I was a little bit nervous about leaving for this trip. What was different about this trip from other journeys I had taken on a motorcycle? And I mean, aside from this being long term, I mean, who knows, right? That's the plan. It could end in 2 weeks. I could be coming home for some reason, and resituating here in Arizona. But I hope not, because that would mean something probably went wrong. But the time frame of the trip is that's not really a factor. Not having a place, that's not really hitting me yet. What's freaking me out a little bit about this is number one, the unknown of running a business from the road on a motorcycle. That's I'm having a hard time treading water with a lot of it not going mobile. So I'm curious to see how everything kind of pans out once I'm working from the road officially. But also the big thing for me is the money's not really there. I mean, I'm just leaving and kind of figuring it out as I go. I mean, I have money set aside for the first month or two, maybe 3 months, depending, on a very, very, very small budget, like $17 or $18 a day, I think. So there is this fear of running out of money, but also there's at the same time this total faith. And I think that was something that was kind of sitting with me yesterday. I really wanted to vlog yesterday as I was going through my day, going through this process emotionally and mentally of saying goodbye and packing up and gearing up and jumping into this new life. And I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about, but that was one of them. This gift that I was so not expecting was the people I have met through YouTube. Every single one of you has been absolutely amazing. And I deal with a lot of social anxiety and a lot of fear in my life, but I choose to just walk through it, and that's just become a habit. Like I don't let fear necessarily stop me. It might make me hesitate, but I lived a lot of years of my life not doing things because I was too scared, and that got old, and I kind of hit a bottom with that. And so I stopped doing that, and I started just doing what I wanted to do regardless of whether I was scared of it or not. So social anxiety became a thing that I had to kind of knock down. So I've had to walk through a little bit of fear and anxiety every time I meet some of you guys, and every time it's like, as soon as I sit down or as soon as I open my mouth and we start talking with whoever I'm meeting, and it's like we're instantly friends and just comfortable. It's been so much easier to get out there and put myself out there than I thought it would have been in that way. And that's because, the people that I've been meeting are amazing, and that gives me a lot of faith and hope, because the reality is this whole thing rests on this YouTube channel, like you guys, helping out in different ways, and I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't for you guys. I'd still be trying, I'd be doing something to make this happen, but if I hadn't found this community, I wouldn't be doing this today, wouldn't be leaving yet. And that's been an amazing gift, and there's a lot to be said about pushing through fear, and doing things that you're maybe not quite comfortable with. And I was talking to my brother the other day, and I said to him, I'm glad there's a fear here. I'm glad that I'm afraid of what I'm about to do, because it means I'm doing something bigger than I've done before, something new to me, right? Like, I'm living my life. If I never did anything that I was afraid of, it just wouldn't be much of a life for me. It's funny because as my channel gets bigger, it seems like more and more people come staggering through and just leaving like stupid comments, which every time I say this, everybody says, oh, don't let it bother you, don't let it bother you. And the truth is, it actually doesn't. The genuinely stupid ones, stupid as in like, there's no meaning behind it, there's no thought behind it, and it's just a hollow kind of remark, those don't bother me. I've been getting a lot of comments about like some of my earlier videos, I talk too long, or you know, I get comments about my hands shaking, or I say certain words, like filler words too often, like the word actually, for example, that I would just constantly repeat that. And I laugh about it when I see these comments, because I think the level of paralyzing anxiety that I had to walk through to get to this point with my channel. I know who I am. I know what it took for me to get here, and I got no shame about it. Yeah, I'm terrified of certain things, and you know what? I push through them anyway, and it's always rewarding. And pushing through this channel, I mean, the level of anxiety and fear the first day that I pushed record on a camera, and what it took for me to open my mouth and actually start talking, and how uncomfortable I was seeing myself on camera, like, oh my, I just, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And I had to push through that and get comfortable with that. And furthermore, I mean, it took me several videos before I actually hit publish. That was a big deal for me for a long time. You know, I had to wear sunglasses for a while because I was reading a script, because I was so nervous in front of the camera that I couldn't remember what I wanted to say. And but I knew there was something on the other side of this that was worth fighting for, that was worth pursuing. And now I'm kind of at a point where I'm more comfortable being in front of the camera, and it's not such a hurdle to get through, and I'm following the biggest dream of my life right now as I make my way out of Phoenix for the last time for a while. I will be back to visit, at least. I just can't believe it. I was tearing up the other day. That it's here, you know. I'm on my way, and it'll be what it'll be, you know. I don't know. I hope it lasts 5 years, at least. I mean, I don't know. That's the number I have in my head, is like maybe 5 years. I keep saying it's 6 months, but I'm just taking it in a 6-month chunk and then go from there. But I didn't give up my apartment for 6 months. I gave up my apartment because I want to do this for as long as I can, because this is where I really feel at home, on the bike and doing this stuff, traveling, and it's just amazing. And it's so surreal for me that it's actually here. And you know, there was a definite shift this morning. The anxiety and fear really turned to pure excitement and just gratitude beyond belief. Like, just so grateful that, you know, the challenges in my life have led me to a point where this was an option. That's a gift for me, and I'm grateful to be able to share this with you guys. So I don't know, I mean, that's kind of where I've been at the last few weeks, and now I'm just super excited to be on the road. And it's kind of a relief too, because I felt like this squeezing pressure the last few days of like getting all the stuff done and ready and all that, and now I'm here and I can relax a little bit. I can enjoy the ride today. We're heading down towards Tucson. I don't know how far we're gonna make it. It's already 2 o'clock, and we're just still in Phoenix. I got one more errand to run on the way out of town. Anyways, I'm gonna turn on my music, enjoy the ride for a little bit, and maybe I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. So, just stopped to get a quick iced coffee before getting back on the road. Just to kind of wrap it up here, I am super excited to be on the road. Very extremely grateful for you guys, because I wouldn't be here without you. Like I said, you know, there was some fear and anxiety over the last few weeks. It's transitioned now fully into complete excitement. But I think the lesson there is, you know, I mean, I always get a little bit of anxiety or nervous excitement, you know, before a big trip. And this particular time, it was a little more fear than just nervousness. And it reminded me a lot of my very first big motorcycle trip, where you're confronting so much unknown and on such a big scale, and it seems so intimidating. But it's not. Once you jump into it, it's always worth it. So that's kind of the lesson of the day, is sometimes a little fear is a good thing, and it's an opportunity to push through and find something great on the other side. So I am going to hit the road. I probably do another vlog. I hope this gets posted on Friday. I'm not going to do daily vlogging or anything like that. I'm not going to document every single day of the trip, but these, you know, the first day or two is just, it's kind of, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of emotion as I kind of settle into it and iron out all the kinks. So I do want to kind of document that as much as possible. And I do have some videos coming up that are more in my usual style of tips and tricks, tutorials, and things like that. So this isn't a you know, a full-blown, you know, channel change to a vlogging channel. Still gonna stick to some of the regular content I've been making. Just mix some of this in with it, some of the adventure and stuff. That's about it for today. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. That way you don't miss anything whenever I post something new about motorcycles, camping, travel, probably a lot of travel in the near future, and adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.